various reporters monitoring the situation around the country. We want to go to Johannesburg, start off here with regards to this national campaign, 1 million seats on the streets. SABC reporter Nosipho Mncube joins us now live. Nosipho, very good morning to you. What are you witnessing there?
A very good morning to you too, Blaine. I am in Bryanston at a restaurant called Rockets. We are told that the protest is only set to begin around 12 o'clock today until 2 p.m. As you have already mentioned, the 1 million seats on the streets protest taking place today across the country due to, the strain that the hospitality industry has felt. We have seen the easing of the lockdown regulations help some sectors pick up their feet and try and make up for the lost time. But the hospitality industry has taken quite a huge hit throughout this time. I have with me the Group CEO of Rockets, Sean Barber, who will just speak to me about the journey so far, speak to me as well about this branch in particular that I'm told is expected to close its doors temporarily due to what we are seeing right now. Sean, thank you very much for your time. Sorry, Blaine?
Sorry, go ahead, Nosipho.
Okay, Sean, I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much for your time. Without wasting any more of the time, can you speak to me about this branch in particular, what we're seeing here, the journey so far, and resorting to having to close the doors here?
Thanks for having me today, Nosipho. We started Rockets 13 years ago, this branch specifically in Bryanston 3 years ago. And I never thought that we'd have to even contemplate closing our doors for a day, let alone for what's going on now 4-5 months, and for the foreseeable future we need to remain closed.
Can you speak to me about, the staff, most importantly, who are also experiencing some hardships right now? We know that most of them are reluctant on, the generosity of the patrons that will come here. How has it been with you and your staff and just trying to make sure that they can feed themselves as well as their families?
Well, all the best restaurants run their staff as a family, so and in this branch alone we've got 140 staff who are now all on unpaid leave. We can't, it's been, like I said, 4 or 5 months now. It's not sustainable for us to keep people on. And the bigger the restaurant is, the harder the times are now to operate. Because obviously the bigger the restaurant is, the higher your rent is, the higher your utility charges are. These are all things that you need to consider when you open your doors. And to operate within the parameters that we are allowed to operate now in, having a shop this size, it's just not feasible. We simply cannot do it. And of course it's hardest on the staff.
This protest that is taking place today, you have challenged the president to have a conversation with, restaurant owners and on their challenges. And I can imagine that each restaurant owner has different challenges. What would the conversation be with the president with regard to Rockets and what we're seeing here at your restaurant?
Well, we just want, number one, to be communicated with. It seems like every door that we try and knock on gets not opened or shut in our faces. I would ask him that the parameters within which we are forced to operate are based on logic, because right now not being able to sell alcohol and having to close your doors at 9 p.m., those two parameters combined, it's no longer feasible for us to trade. It really isn't. So I would say to him, please, be cognizant of the plight of restaurants, small, medium, large restaurants. They're all suffering the way we are. We've got 12 branches, they're all suffering. And, so for us to not be able to serve what is our most lucrative commodity in a controlled environment, you must remember we are not by any means taking scant regard for the plight of people out there and the COVID-19 impact on people's lives. We are. That's why we have the measures put in place like we do. So people are temperature controlled. They are forced to wear masks in the establishment. Everything is sanitized. The tables are sanitized. Chairs are sanitized. We have no menus. The menus are QR coded. So it's very much a controlled environment. It is a responsible environment in which we as responsible adults and citizens of this country can ply our trade and offer a service to our patrons. If there are certain parameters that we're given to trade and that don't make it feasible for us, there's nothing we can do. And you have staff like we have here, 140 staff or 400 staff in the group, that we cannot put food on their tables. They cannot earn a living, and it's urgent for us, because a lot of our staff are waiter based. who are not seen as permanent staff, who don't get any relief from UIF. So I would say to him, please be cognizant of the fact that we are responsible business owners. We will provide an environment in which it is safe for people to come and dine. They do not have to be told to be home by 9 o'clock. A 9 o'clock curfew for us is not sustainable in terms of business. It isn't. You've got to stop trading at 7:30. So your staff, we can clean the restaurants, count the stock, and get everybody home before 9. It means that we have to stop trading at 7:30. It basically means we need to stop taking orders just before 7. So what a 9 o'clock curfew does, it means is that there's no dinner trade. So not only can we not sell alcohol, but we cannot have a dinner trade. So basically the rules that he's giving us are decimating our industry. It's crippling the restaurant industry completely. So I would say to him, please, as long as the establishments are responsible, give us a chance to ply our trade, give us a chance to continue to employ our families, and when I say families, I mean our greater staff contingent, and keep people being able to put food on their tables. Because right now, those two things combined, the no alcohol and the 9 o'clock curfew, it's killing us.
Thank you so much, Sean. That's all we have time for now. That's Sean Barber, the Group CEO of Rockets. As he's mentioned, the list of concerns that he has, and list of concerns that he would like the President to take into consideration when deciding on the way forward for the restaurants and the hospitality industry in general. This place is one of the most popular places here in the north of Johannesburg, and it's closing its doors temporarily due to what we're seeing with the lockdown regulations as well as the COVID-19 pandemic. But it's back to you, Blaine.